He knocked me over. I landed on the dog bowl.
This one's wife. Bullies together. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Alison Boshoff recently revealed in the Daily Mail this one's wife lands a special guest for new season of her Netflix show. The much-hyped launch of With Love, Meghan on Netflix was quickly followed by confusion over which friends, exactly, the Duchess was inviting over to share the love. The biggest name in the first series was actress Mindy Kaling, but many of the others, such as Bestie makeup artist, or as we know him, the crying makeup artist, Daniel Martin, were far from famous. But Boshoff can reveal that this one's wife has landed someone much better known for the next installment of the show. Model, TV personality, cookbook author, Chrissy Teigen. Well, she appears to have missed out bully, nonce, and general unpleasant individual. The second series was actually filmed back-to-back with the first, in the spring of last year, before this one's wife had settled on a brand name, or even which product she would be selling. It's due to stream on Netflix this autumn, as we all know. It's not a second season, it's season 1, part 2. Boshoff explained, Chrissy is the big name in series 2, and they have been friends for a long time. On the downside, there is no sign of Harry at all in this one, and nothing of the children either. Prince Harry made the briefest of appearances at the end of the first series at a celebration brunch to mark the launch of his wife's new venture. I have to say, I never got to watching that. I gave up after 2 episodes. My brain simply couldn't tolerate any more of the banality. This one's wife and Chrissy Teigen have much in common. Both appeared as briefcase girls on game show Deal or No Deal in the United States. Chrissy from the first season in 2005 and This One's Wife in 2006 and 2007. For those of you really interested, Teigen was briefcase number 12 and This One's Wife was briefcase number 24. Fascinating. In an interview in 2018, Teigen said, I'm especially a fan of This One's Wife. I was on Deal or No Deal with her, and she was lovely. Assertion of control through flattery. They bonded further after This One's Wife wrote to Chrissy Teigen when she lost her unborn baby, Jack, at 20 weeks in September of 2020. This One's Wife had suffered apparently a few months earlier a miscarriage, something she'd reveal later that year. Now, This One's Wife has decided, or had decided, to involve Chrissy Teigen, the lady who doesn't even know how to pronounce her own surname correctly. Hence why I give her 3 versions of it, because she keeps changing it, just in case you were wondering why I do that. What have we got here? Well, it's worth examination, because we have 2 narcissists coming together. Both, as mentioned, have been briefcase girls on their rise. Both claim to be able to cook. I've not really seen anything of what Chrissy Teigen does in the kitchen, and I'm neither interested nor going to look for it. And we all know, in relation to This One's Wife, she doesn't so much as cook as throw shitty rabbit food over the top of food and rearrange it on a plate. It's also the case that both are bullies, but in a different way. Now, in a separate video, I'm going to focus on the hypocrisy of This One's Wife with regard to her suggestion that she is a protector of children. So that's where you'll find me commenting more about that in a further video. But they are both bullies. Chrissy Teigen is a more obvious bully because she did her bullying in full view online when she continued in her unpleasant comments about other people, most notably, of course, Courtney Stodden. The comments that she issued towards Stodden and other individuals, which I think, if my memory serves correctly, included Lindsay Lohan, were unpleasant, nasty, and devaluing. You know, as a consequence of my analysis of Chrissy Teigen, that she is a narcissist. And if you haven't dipped into that already and would like to understand more about why the satellite dish-faced woman is one, then all you need to do is find her playlist amongst my work. There are several videos which you can then go and watch and enjoy, learning more about narcissism, understanding more about what Teigen is, and furthermore, being entertained. But her devaluing behaviour was clear to see. Although she later deleted the tweets, they were screenshotted and still circulate on the internet. There was no facade being operated. She simply came out with it in the same way as she's done with rather strange comments about young children. More about that separately. This one's wife does operate a facade as a mid-range narcissist, and therefore the bullying that she engages in, you don't witness in public. Her narcissism is a little sharper in that regard, so that it ensures that it does its level best to prevent the malign behaviours that she engages in being seen publicly. As you know, the facade often fractures because of the pressure and stress that it's put under by this one's wife's need for control and the repeated threats to control that she experiences. But the bullying that she engages in takes place behind the scenes when nobody's looking, in front of maybe a staff member, to, of course, memorably, Princess Charlotte, away from the probing eye of the public and the lens, because she wishes to maintain to the public that she is a lovely and kind person. But both are bullies, and they've come together. Both, naturally, engage in self-promotion because their narcissism demands it, and they love the attention, also known as fuel. They both have dubious stories surrounding miscarriage. This one's wife is well known for her mythcarriage, as it became to be labelled, as a result of suggestions that she didn't actually have one, and that she provided dubious stories. First of all, the falling down whilst holding Archie, and then making it seem poetic, which later was revealed to be plagiarism on her part, and then the nonsense about the embryo being buried by Harry in the earth under a tree. Yeah, right. When it comes to Chrissy Teigen, she lied to the world that she had suffered a miscarriage. What she then did was that she shared photos and she wrote articles, all part of a pity play. But in actual fact, she later then decided that in actual fact, she'd had an elective abortion and not a miscarriage. Well, so here we have one narcissist that chose to have an abortion and then claimed that she'd had a miscarriage and then cried about it in order to draw sympathy, and then another one who appeared not to have one but claimed that she did do so, again in order to engender sympathy. Two peas in a pod, you might think. So what might we expect from when Chrissy Teigen appears? Now remember, this one's wife operates with a facade. It's being filmed. Her narcissism is mindful of the fact that there is a crew filming it and it's going to be seen by the public. But to begin with, it'll be all flattery and sugary compliments towards one another. Why? Because at the introduction, they're both painted white in the eyes of the other, which means that their narcissism will cause them to compliment one another, talk about what good friends they are, be supportive and sympathetic towards one another, that Chrissy Teigen will issue compliments, etc., and it'll seem like a mutual masturbation fest between the two of them. But there will be cracks, there will be tension, and Chrissy Teigen will not be able to help herself. She will say something which will attack this one's wife. Now, I'm not suggesting that she'll grab a spatula and start slapping this one's wife about the Botox cheeks with it, or that she'll get hold of a potato masher and try and cave in this one's wife's malformed skull. No. What she'll do is she'll make some snarky comment, either boasting about her own achievements or putting down this one's wife. We will see some jaw-jutting from this one's wife as the facade management struggles to ensure that she remains in control of the situation as a consequence of this provocation that will come from Chrissy Teigen. Teigen cannot help herself. Her rampant envy of the fact that she's on somebody else's show will mean that she will have to cause a provocation to draw attention onto herself, and she'll do so by either banging on about her own success in order to make this one's wife envious, or seeking to put down this one's wife in some way. Teigen will be the one that'll start it in terms of the direct provocation. This one's wife will look fuming. She will possibly even give a death stare. She might come back with some remark. They're not going to get down to a bitch-slapping fight, unfortunately. However, there is going to be a clash between them because these two particular narcissists won't be able to help themselves. Teigen can't help herself because she's an aggressive bully that behaves in that way, and this one's wife will play the victim, but her own ignited fury will be fighting to escape, and we will see her adopting that clenched jaw and fixed stare, along with a potential snarky comment back at Teigen. Two bullies coming together. And you might be thinking to yourself, what on earth is going through this one's wife's mind when she decides to team up with her? Well, I'm going to be explaining more about that and the issue of the hypocrisy in the next video about this pairing of bullies. Go there and learn more. I'm HG Tudor. Thank you for listening.